Hi, my name is Roland and we recently got one of these installed. Actually, not one of these, we got them throughout the whole house. We've replaced our central heating with infrared panels. Why did we do that? In 2014, we started our electrification journey. We got the electric cars, we got our solar panels, we got the battery pack to deal with the house energy requirements. And the one remaining bit was really the oil boiler. And the oil boiler started to smell a bit. So we thought either the oil boiler has to be replaced with a new oil boiler, or it has to become a heat pump, or we look for some alternatives. And I'm more of the alternative kind, so we started to look for something else. And we ran into Infrared Heat Ireland, and we started to have a conversation with Eamon. And he came to the house, had a look at what we could do, and helped us in sizing the right panels for the different rooms that we had, so we can also have the right controllers in place. Now for the last number of weeks, they have done the installation. It took them a few days to get everything installed, but they did a pretty neat job particularly upstairs. I mean, they did everything through the attic, which was fantastic. So there were no holes in the wall at all. Downstairs, a few holes here and there to fix up and patch. But actually it wasn't that bad as they had initially thought it potentially could be, because it all depends on, how the rafters go, etc. So, but yeah, the advantage that we see with infrared panels, and of course we still have to go through the winter, but what we have seen is that, of course, with infrared panels, there's no airflow. So what you typically have with a central radiated system, it circulates air. So also the dust and everything else that goes with it. So hence it can become very dusty in the room and stuffy. And after days of work, sitting with a radiator on, then of course it could be a bit, ugh. So whereas with infrared panels, it doesn't do that because it radiates from the top. And as a result, we've actually had an opportunity, because it was, for Irish weather, not necessarily the warmest June. So we had a few days where we could actually test out the panels, and we instantly noticed a difference. Even people that came to the house had never seen these panels before, they were with us, and they really got to understand that this was a different way of heating, and actually enjoyed it. And if you think now we're more in the summer period where we see a bit more sunshine, and we're probably the hottest day of the year. That element of radiated heat, that's actually what you're now getting from the infrared panels as well. So I can highly recommend it. We have done the entire house. We thought it was worth the investment to do the entire house. The next thing is for us to literally get rid of the oil tank, and work is in progress on that. Get rid of the boilers as well as getting rid of the radiators, which is then of course a great way to actually free up some wall space, because some radiators are always a bit awkwardly placed. So that's our journey, and that's what we're going through. What we have done, we have of course installed all these controllers in each of the rooms, so we can individually control every room rather than having a central heating where you control a floor, or it's only one grid. We actually can set the thermostat per room. So that also allows us to say, well, some rooms we're not in all the time, so we don't need to have the heating in on there the whole time, and in some rooms we actually have more daily requirements, so we actually will be there more often, so we won't of course have the heating on then. So this is how we can control it, and we can all control it from the app, also where we can control it remote, so that way we can have a nice way of managing our heat. So highly recommend it, certainly if you're considering changing your heating system, especially if you're thinking about retrofitting in a home that currently has central heating, that probably isn't necessarily up to the standards that you need to move to a heat pump. This is certainly worthwhile, the consideration as an alternative investment into a new heating system for your home. And with that, I think it's something that I can just simply highly recommend. Thanks a lot. Bye-bye.